Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Taylor Jones. And do you have any idea what time it is? Well, if you don't, then prepare yourselves because it's going to be the coldest winter yet, as in season 6 of Cold Man's Winter. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Taylor Jones, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, TC Jones Edits, as well as my brand new episode of Cold Man's Winter Season 6. I know it's been a while since I came up with an episode, but since the time is now to get back to taking care of business, get on top of things, as people say, I'm here to give you another episode of Cold Man's Winter. And this my last time I talked about a three-part story about Dennis in the School of Hard Knocks, and the link that I said last time, referring to the episode before, the part 2 episode. Unfortunately, I made a mistake, and the one link that I meant to say was the last episode before that, which was the Black History Month episode as well. But this time, the link for the part 3, the conclusion of the School of Hard Knocks, will be in the description bar down below this time. Because right now, I'm thinking about something like a topic that hits close to home, especially when it comes to being on the main line, the forefront of the whole scenario, the whole shebang-a-bang. And what does that mean? What does it mean, Taylor? It means I want to focus a lot about leadership. Now, when you think of leadership, you're thinking about a lot of things that's going down. One, you're thinking about the president. One, you're thinking about another thing. You're thinking about the preacher. You're thinking about the teachers. You're thinking about the coaches. You're thinking about your parents. But let me tell you something. Now, sometimes being a leader, it can be a pain in the butt. How do you know, Taylor? Because even when you, like some of us nowadays, we're in a society where we're reading a lot of social media things like news, even if they were fake. Like one perfect example. President Donald Trump signed the executive orders for everyone to speak in English in the American society. What? Okay. And some Americans, they agreed, as in America is a country, but we have to speak one language, and we were known for speaking English. But still, it can be considered racist to others who oppose, and I find that hard to believe, because if we were forced to speak in English, then think about the schools, like even grade schools, colleges, that's teaching multilingual classes. I used to take Spanish in high school. My sister, she took French. What happened if we got rid of the Spanish classes and the French classes? Just because we have to speak English, even that could be a big target to all the individuals, the immigrants who came here. But one thing about it that I don't understand is, like, we've been going for the same shenanigans. We've been kicking other countries while they were down, even when it's wartime. But when it comes to being a leader, you're going to have to think twice. Oh, think twice. But sometimes you don't have to think twice, because you already made up your mind and do something that was meant to be done. You want the whole world to know that you're that you're serious. Is that your final answer? Yes, double crosser. That's final. Now shut up and make it happen. That's a bad example of a leader. Now, being a leader, you don't have to have enough guts, enough, well, for men, private areas, but I'm just going to say guts. Enough muscles. Like, listen, it can go. It's kind of like the same thing for women. You don't have to have men don't have to have a lot of muscles. Women don't have to have a lot of, I don't know, like sexually they would say you ain't got to have a lot of boobs or a big butt. Like, as Prince said, you don't have to be beautiful to turn me on. No, that's what he said. That's what he said. But I'm thinking of something else. You don't have to watch Dynasty to have power over me. Or in the chorus, you say you don't have to be rich to be my girl. You don't have to be cruel or cool to rule my world. But see, being a leader, it takes a lot of work. Even if you have to put somebody in their place. I mean, we've been dealing with a lot of shut up. I mean, we've been taking a lot of shut up treatments. We have been punished for losing. If a basketball team loses, we have to run a couple laps. Like Coach Carter style. You can push up or shut up. That's up to you. Or other times we can what can I say? We can put the anger or frustration on the teammates that ruined the game. Because I had a vision. If I was in a movie, I play a basketball coach in high school. My first time being a coach, and I had to put my foot down. I started learning how to put my foot down and rely on the athletes that I can rely on, and the ones that ruin the game and or have bad attitudes, I point at them as in a way of saying, shame on you. Shame on you. And even the other teammates would have to follow my direction, because point the person in shame. And the person that's in shame, it's like you're trying to balance who you rely on and who you can't stand. And the people you can't stand, you punish them. No, the entire team must be punished, all because of one man, one woman, and their hiccups. Look, there's more than one player on the team, right? If one player messes up, the whole team messes up. If there's two, still the same. If you continue to build like half of the team messed up, we all have to pay the price. It's like too many prices have been paid. Next thing you know, one false move is going to lead us all to the gangster's paradise. No. There's no such thing as a gangster's paradise. Because actually, if there was, it would be negative. It would be dark. Coolio explained it. Stevie Wonder said we've been spending most of our lives living in a pastime paradise. But in the 90s, Coolio and LV, they were explaining we're living in a gangster's paradise. But where are the leaders? Who's responsible? Who led us to where we are right now? Honestly, everybody can be their own leader. Be your own boss. BYOB. You know what I'm saying? And still, there's a backlash for that. Even when it comes to being a Christian leader, preacher, a teacher, one of the disciples, the apostles, Moses had to learn the hard way. He led the people. Moses, let my people go. But he disrespected God's command. Talk to the rock, not smite it. And of course, he smite the rock. He hit the rock. And the punishment for that, everybody else went to the promised land but Moses. You're supposed to lead your people and follow the commander, the person that commands you to lead the people. Follow what the Lord has said. You see, that's the thing. People don't care about God anymore. And that's why they always blaspheme. They call themselves gods. And women call themselves goddesses. Everybody wants to be a queen. Everybody wants to be a king. But I tell you one thing. What I'm not going to do is put God in the back burner. If I was a leader, if I was like Barack Obama, I would definitely lead my people to an understanding that everybody wants to be equal. Everybody wants to have rights. But like the earlier example when I explained that Donald Trump wrote an executive order for everybody who's in America, like English is the main language everybody needs to know. If you ain't talking language, like what's he gonna do? Execute us? No. Probably send us back to where we come from. It's kind of like a phrase, like one of the racist phrases for black folks. Go back to Africa. What? No, that is not a good sign of a leader. But leaders, they don't care. They doing this for some reasons. Some do it for the money. Some do it for the power. Some do it just to get some respect. Money, power, respect. The key in life. Money, power, respect. The key in life. Shout out to the Locks and Lil Kim and R.I.P. DMX. See, everybody, of course, I have to agree. Money, power, and respect. They are the key of life. But you missing one thing, y'all. The Lord. What's the point of being a leader if you don't have God? God is the leader for all mankind. I mean, think about it. Let that sink in. Now, in the song Reincarnated, Kendrick Lamar, he painted a powerful picture about celebrities that live their lives. First, verse 1 and 2, two black African American musicians from the early to the mid 20th century, the 1900s. Robert Lee Hooker was the first one. The other one, it was Billie Holiday. The life that they lived, the fame that they craved and possessed and gained, and bad turnouts. The worst turnouts in their life, like led to their demise. Poison from drugs, alcohol, and it can happen today. Murder. Murder was the case. And who do we blame? Do we blame the drugs? Do we blame other influences, families and friends? So-called. Now that's one thing that everybody and the leaders are forgetting. The phrase so-called, the words so-called. Because people are starting to call the leaders the so-called rulers. Rulers, they can take their power to the whole new level. And when they take it to the 666th degree, it's like they do some devilish things. They become dictators. And I couldn't even stop thinking about that Cult of Personality song by Living Colour. The CM Punk WWE theme song, the walk-in theme song. It's so crazy how life can turn out from one ruler to another. A lot of rulers, a lot of leaders, a lot of dictators, they are taking their power too far that they don't know what they're causing, because they don't care. They know what they're doing, but in the end, it caused a lot of turmoil, backlash. You creating your own monster, your own villain, your own worst enemy. And I'm just thinking, if I was a leader, I would have to, one, work on telling the truth. First and foremost, you got to put God first. Second, you need to work on telling the truth. Like, practice. Put it in effect. See how it turns out. Then, when it turns out the way you want it, Put it in effect for the whole community, the whole economy to see. From Georgia to New York to Massachusetts to Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C., between D.C. or the state. And what's stupid is that I don't understand why the state of Washington is supposed to be pronounced as Washington State. Because there's another Washington in America. But that's not the state. It's a district. Washington, D.C., on the outskirts of Maryland. You had the nerve to make Washington, D.C. keep its name, but everybody that lives in Washington, they have to pronounce Washington State because they figured there's another Washington. One's a state, one's a district. That does not work. Man. But it is crazy. Just like how one leader had to bow out of the presidency, namely Biden, because of his health issues and the fact that he's getting older. Everybody is getting older, and everybody wants to talk smack about the leader. Some leaders have no idea what they're doing. Others, they have been exposed based on the life that they lived before they got into the office. Like the time when people talking smack about Barack Obama, like, give me some proof that he's American, that he's black. I find that whack, hard to believe. I've been through a lot. I dealt with a lot of teachers, preachers, and even until this day, I still have 2 parents that I have to get through. Because at chapter 30, it's not easy to live your life on your own. Because a lot of people want to be leaders and they want you to do a better job than you did before. Parents want their children to do better than them, some of them. I mean, we've seen that before. We heard it before from movies to music. And nowadays, there's no such power. In a society where we're all full of social media and distractions, we hardly have enough guts to save our children, get healthy from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times in many ways, and I ain't referring to Christmas. I know disrespect in Nat King Cole, but Christmas has already been passed. This is like February, and we're about to reach March. 2 months dead and gone after today, and March is about to hit, which means March winds, which later leads to April showers. Even if it's a Drew Hill reference, March winds, April showers, they lead us to May flowers. Winter is dying, and I have been wasting my time. I should have led myself to getting involved with making more episodes, because right now, this is the time for me to step my game up. Stop faking the funk. Leaders, stop faking the funk. Stop keeping the truth hidden. Preachers, stop letting the damages of everything that you've done, even when it comes to your own family, get the best of you. Even if you're getting ridiculed by your very own brothers and sisters in Christ. I mean, every congregation has a member that goes way too far, and I was one of them. I went too far. I hurt some people's feelings. I hate what I did. But still, if leaders don't know when to make things right, it's kind of like they don't know when to repent. They don't even know when to take take small steps. Everybody wants to take the big step. And one big step, one shallow step, is going to lead you to break your leg and or skip ahead to the future, but you're not even living in the past. It's just damaging. It's asinine. Asinine meaning stupid, redundant, ridiculous, or, as I always put it, controversial. Shoot. If I had to rely on the leaders that's trying to tell me when I'm right and wrong, who could be my leaders? My mother. Let me rephrase that. Mrs. Vicky Taylor-Jones. A sweet lady of the week from season 1. As well as my father, Mr. James or Norris Jones Jr. He knows what he's talking about. I remember what it was like to take his advice. Like, Taylor, at some point you need to slow down. You're getting out of hand. Especially when it came to my rap persona, my Uncle Bean persona. Because nowadays, it's like the leader's warning you that you're not paying attention to what needs to be done. The leader said that you have to slow down. The leader said you have to get out and vote. The leader says to shut up and dance. Get off your tail and take care of your business. Get up, get out, and get something. Get with the program. But sometimes leaders can be younger than you, and they can be a pain in the butt too. Everybody wants to be a leader, but they don't understand how it works. To be a leader, you have to lead people out of harm's way, not lead them to being a rebellious army. Because rebellion souls, they can get smoked. And we lost a soul legend that sung, "Only the strong survive." And you know what? You know what's funny? Jerry Butler, from the Impressions to a solo artist to a politician, he made it happen throughout his life. He knew what he was doing. He made it happen from soul music to politics. He was a big helping hand. Even after he left, Curtis Mayfield and the other Impressions, they kept going. They had to make powerful songs, keep on pushing, moving on up. They were like the leaders, leading us to see where we went wrong. Every musician is a leader. Kendrick Lamar is my leader. It's kind of like Kendrick Lamar for president. Kendrick Duckworth for president. So who's going to be his vice president, his VP? Miss SZA. Because imagine, if Kendrick was running for president, who would his opponent be? Of course, everybody going to scream out, Aubrey Graham. Meet the Grahams. But who would Drake's VP be? I don't know. Probably, I don't know. Probably would be Party Next Door, but then again, I don't know if he and Drake hang out as much. See, that's the thing. Everybody wants to be a leader in their own craft, their own way. People still believing in Michael Jordan. Others believe in LeBron James. I was born during the Michael Jordan era. But then again, I lived in the Michael Jordan era. 94, he was out of the league. He retired after his father got smoked in 1993. His father got murdered in Chicago, 1993. 96, he came back. 96, when he came, 95, 96, he came back. 95, Eazy-E died. Michael Jordan came back. After the 95-96 season with 72 wins, Tupac died. 97, Biggie died way before Michael got his 5th title, along with Scotty. Meanwhile, Dennis, the Worm Rodman, he got his 4th. 2 with Detroit against Michael Jordan and Magic and them. 3-peat with Michael and Scotty. Man. 2003, he kissed his NBA days goodbye. Later on, I guess, or maybe at the same time, John Stockton kissed his NBA jersey goodbye. Forever number 12. Forever a Utah Jazz. Meanwhile, Karl Malone, he kissed his jerseys goodbye after the Lakers. Never won the big one. John and Karl never won the big one. Never. Gary the Glove Payton, he got one. Alonzo Mourning, he got one. From Charlotte to Miami, Dwayne Wade, 3 titles with Miami. First 2 with LeBron. But LeBron made it happen. He became a leader when he came back to Cleveland. And 2016 was the best time of his life. The best year of his life. When he led the Cleveland Cavaliers to the championship. First time and first time only. Just like 2019. Kawhi Leonard and the Raptors. First time champions in Toronto, in Canada. What's the point of being a leader? To be a leader, you have to learn to respect the people. Do something for the people. If you ain't going to do something for the people, then you already betrayed them. People will already consider you a sellout. Stick to your words. Keep it real. Stop lying. And I already put this in my in one of the quotes. In my end credits, I always put a quote down. Whether song, lyric, or movie, and or real life quotes. And one quote that actually stood out to me until this day, since 2018, 7 years later, this phrase, this quote still hits me where it hurts. Because I gotta take this as a tough love. I talked about tough love. That's what the leaders are giving. Sometimes you have to accept tough love. I'm not a fan of it. I suck at it. I never shut up about it. I never even tried to work on it. If you don't like tough love, and look, it's kind of like this. If you don't like tough love, why are you here? How are you going to get through? I hate bad timing. I hated every last moment of my life because I made bad decisions. Couldn't take a picture with some of my friends and family. Bad timing. You're impatient. Lead yourself out of this situation, out of this Venus flytrap, out of the bear trap, out of the quicksand, out of every last thingamajig that's going to lead to your own demise, self-destruction. But for real, I know what you're wondering, Taylor. What's the point? Like, what is the phrase that you're trying to tell us? To be a leader, what should we do? Well, in the words of Chris Webber, a former Michigan Fab Five member, to play for the Warriors as well as a Sacramento King, to play an old man who still got basketball skills in a basketball comedy, Uncle Drew, in which Uncle Drew, it started off from Pepsi, but then after the Pepsi promo of Uncle Drew, Kyrie Irving being an old man playing in the Rucker Park, it really made sense. Because Chris Webber wasn't playing. He sounded like an old man. He is an old man. 50-some years old, and he still had a lot of potential, a lot of power. He felt he should have been a champion in the NBA as well as the NCAA. But he was right. He told Kyrie Irving, a one-time champion, NBA champion with the Cleveland Cavaliers, along with LeBron James, Drew, like him and Uncle Drew, he had beef with Shaquille O'Neal. Two grumpy men, two old men, one grumpy, all over a woman. Chris Preach Webber said it best. Preacher Webber said it best. Drew, you want to make things right, right, do you? And this is for all leaders worldwide, including Trump. For you to force English to be the main language in USA, knowing that we have been speaking other languages. Well, maybe it's because we were taught these other languages, especially when we go to different countries. Like if you go to Mexico, you got to learn to speak fluent Spanish, Espanol, Brazil. Spanish, Espanol. If you go to France or Africa, you have to learn to speak in not just Creole, but French. As in, Mom, you got French. Oui, magnifique. You want to make things right? Then you got to stop running from the truth. But some leaders, they want to take Gary Oldman's advice from The Fifth Element. And I even acted like that when I feel bad because I am a guy, I'm a fool when it came to bad timing. I'm a fool from bad timing. Then I am still a fool with bad timing now. Impatience, still a fool. But as a leader, if you want something done, do it yourself. Yep. That's how some leaders are acting right now. That's like childish, but at the same time, they fed up. Fed up with the Chicago Bull that caused them to feel down. Even if it means to not talk to their friends and family and co-workers that they don't get along with. And even the ones that they made uncomfortable. But still, leaders have to fix their wrongs. Stop running from the truth. You want something done, do it yourself. Because nobody can hold your hand. Because you gotta get it done now. You're getting older. You only live once. YOLO. But what would you do? Would you let God in to help you lead? Or would you lead yourself to self-destruction with the devil? If I had, like when I called out my mom and dad a few moments ago, they're leaders. You disrespect leaders, you already know what the punishment is. You get whooped. Where I'm from, you get whooped. Nowadays, nobody wants to whoop their children because of the so-called anti-spanking laws. But it's still like racist to me because almost everybody claims that the reason why the anti-spanking laws took place is because of us black folks. We beat our children to death. Even when we're high and drunk, we abuse. But what do you think we've been dealing with for 400 years? 200 years in the fields. And it still made me think of Tevin Campbell when he sung the song along with the late great Prince, when he made a song about Uncle Sam. Samuel L. Jackson played Uncle Sam in the Super Bowl halftime show. He made it big. Samuel L. Jackson made it big. Serena Williams made it big. SZA made it big, and Kendrick made it big. Turn the TV off if you don't like it. You know, do I think about the leaders that I know? Do I even think about the leaders in my life? Who are my leaders? Taylor, that's TMI. I don't care if it's TMI. But I have to tell the truth. Who are my leaders? If not Donald Trump, if not George W. Bush, if not Bill Clinton, if not Barack Obama. But then again, Barack, he had to be one of the best president leaders that I dealt with. Joe Biden, his former VP, it was fun while it lasted, but still, look what Joe Biden done. He finally put a female vice president in effect. The first VP, female VP of African American descent. But she is more than one descent. It's kind of like her, representing for her predominantly black, but with a splash of Filipino pride. Philippine. She admitted she had to bleed her colors. Had to bleed her colors. Gabrielle Wilson, or Gabriella Wilson, whichever the internet Google says. Wilson. She bled her colors, her race, black and Philippine. Made it big. Imagine what it would be like if she became the next EGOT. Shoot. If anyone was a leader in comedy, who could it be? A comedian to be a leader. We had Dick Gregory. The late Dick Gregory. From a comedian to being an activist in the civil rights. So the fact that he wanted to run for president. Unbelievable. Never too late to dream, to change the community. Dick Gregory was one of the leaders in the comedy world. Him. Meanwhile, in the white community, we had George Carlin. Can't forget about Richard Pryor. So who's my comedy legend that's a leader? To me, I say Dave Chappelle. Meanwhile, we have a female leader. Who's the female leader in, I don't know. If the female leader was in acting, who would it be? I mean, honestly, Angela Bassett, she really deserves the flowers. She really do. Oscar nominated, but it's like, you know what? Screw it. We're going to have to give her an honorary Oscar for all the hardships that she's been through and all the characters she played. But still, she needs a real Oscar, according to somebody that was in the movie industry. Some people didn't want to hear her. Like, that don't mean nothing. Who cares? It's an honorary Oscar. And that was only meant for people that didn't win an Oscar ever. But they deserved it because they've been wrong so many times. Angela Bassett defeated by Jamie Lee Curtis. Mrs. Halloween, Mrs. Freaky Friday with Lindsay Lohan, Mrs. True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger. First time too. But Angela Bassett, she really deserved that honorary Oscar. But still, she really needs one. A real Oscar. How come her husband, Courtney B. Vance, didn't get one? He could have got one for playing Bobby Seale in Panther. He could have got one for playing the principal in Dangerous Minds. Everybody's striving to get a Grammy, an Oscar, an Emmy, a Tony, the EGOT. What about me? I gotta leave myself out of harm's way, which means I gotta stop faking the funk. Stop holding back, like Simple Red said, holding back the years. And the truth is, I never shed tears for 7 years. Simple Red, on the other hand, like, he deserved to be a leader. He knew exactly how powerful his music could reflect on the life he lived. Even if he was sampled, covered. I wasted all my tears. Wasted all those years. I wasted all my tears too. And wasted all my years, including now. First 2 months and still nothing has changed. I never put my 100% in. Mentally, physically, financially, and spiritually. But all that's going to have to come to a head, as my dad says. Granddaddy Charles Taylor, a former minister, he resigned last year because he's been through a lot. To lose somebody close to him. And now I'm feeling the same thing that he is feeling. He's my leader. Brother Donald Woods, my new minister, he's my leader. What about Melvin Hampton? What about L.B. Lawrence, Johnny Wise? What about Carl Safali? What about Showbeck Death Row, Terrence Menace? What about Cedric Hampton, Big Seti? What about my mother? What about Beth Corder, Abigail Abby, Chiriboga Fincher, Casey Chandler? What about Randy Pierce? What about Beverly Stewart, Dolly Greer, Olympia Pringle, Missy Stewart, Teresa Parchman and her sister June? What about us? What about us? Why can't we be thankful for each other, for being leaders? Where do we go from here? That's the question that no leader want to ask. They don't want to ask the dang economy, the government. That's why Democrats have beef with Republicans. We hardly hear about the independents. I'd rather speak more than one language in America than just to speak in plain English. Because I learned Spanish. But the truth be told, so le crime paye. Crime does pay, and it still does. It took more than Lunatique, a rap group from France, to make that song. You want us to get rid of every other language? Like you want to speak in English and English only in America? Think again. Because selfish leaders, they're going to lead to war. They're going to lead to their own demise. And we've seen a lot of individuals leading to their own demise because of their selfish, sinful, stupid acts alone. It caused a lot of people to start warring because racism was a big part of why the executive orders have been taken effect. But some executive orders have been denied for a good cause, and it's for a good reason. Thank goodness for the judges that denied not some of the executive orders. If I was president, I would reject and rewind and cut back all of the what was that? All of the laws that were written in executive orders. I would cause racism to die down. The fact that DEI was getting taken away from us, that's been declined, denied. Get rid of the civil rights of 1964. You got another thing coming, but dang it, that's not the leader. That is not cool, and it is not right. We all fuss, we all fight, we all fought, and we all died. Others ended up injured, dealing with traumatization throughout their years of existence. Since the fatal day when they stepped on another country's territory and ended up shot. I'd rather have Tom Hanks or back when he was Forrest Gump to be my leader. You don't like what's going on? Feel free to run. Run away from the pain. Run away from the tears. Run away from the lies. No? Just do it. Nike, just do it. Gatorade, is it in me right now? No, but I feel like it's about time to let it sink in. You know when people say some random deep messages and you find out like, what the heck is he talking? What the heck is he talking about? Let that sink in. Leaders, let everything sink in. I mean, Trump and Putin, they plan to talk peace talks. So we would prevent the nuclear wars from World War III. But still, for a president to talk smack to Zelensky of Ukraine, that is not a good sign. What is a leader? Exactly. Some questions have been left unanswered for years, and now I see why people want us to shut up. We don't talk about it. Well, this is not Encanto. I'd rather have my way and my justice. I want my cake and eat it too, but revenge is not the answer. What is? Because if you're a leader, you have to be serious about where you're going. You got to be serious about a lot of things. And from God above to the truth to your real life failures and successes to your kids, the people you work with. If you're tired of them telling you what to do and you got something negative to say, even if you can't take a joke. I never take a joke. I'm too dang serious. I gotta chill. Well, so much for my cancer tendencies. Too bad I ain't gonna diss anybody else. Why on earth would I diss the Sagittarius, the Leos, the Pisces, the Capricorns, the Aries, the Virgos, the Tauruses? What good is that? Especially if you're a leader. You would not talk smack about anybody else from their gender to race to Christianity, their religion, to their background, ethnic backgrounds, like the life they live, whether middle class, high class, or low class. Because low class, we gonna make it to the middle. if we put God first. We low-class individuals need to step up. Even if the middle class and the high class makes fun of the low class, they still gonna find out quick. Because we've seen a lot of videos on social media, like the Dhar Mann videos, like what, or the, as ABC would say, what would you do? What would you do? What would you do if your heart is blue? What would you do? What would you do if you find yourself blue? Find a way to turn your blues to yellow, like the sunshine. You're smiling. You got a lot of green because you worked your butt off, and you find ways to improve. From the low to the middle to the high. Be thankful for what you got. Be a leader, not a follower. Lead yourself to the right hand, the right land, the right mindset, the right life, the good life, the blessed life, than to be a bad leader, like what we're dealing with a lot of right now, no matter what country. A bad leader has a heart of stone, as well as a powerful heart of selfishness. You're self-centered. That's not the way to play the game. Like Kendrick Lamar, when he finished up his halftime show for the Super Bowl 59, turn the TV off, turn the TV off, turn the TV off. Lights off. In the stands, game over. Game over to all bad leaders. But if you want to be a good leader, you need to rewind. 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 Take it slow. Slow down. Slow down. Think. Will God be pleased? Will my family be pleased? Will my children be pleased? Will the children in the world? You got a lot of time to think. But then again, not all people are promised to see tomorrow. But Tevin Campbell, once again, I call him out. He said it best. I hope tomorrow will bring a better you, a better me. God bless you all. All the good leaders that decided to take no for an answer and kept moving forward. Even the ones like the late Martin Luther King. No is the answer that I'm looking forward to tell the individuals that talk smack. The individuals who wanted me to sell out. Do something for them. I still believe that Obama was forced to put the LGBTQ community in the limelight. I still believe he was forced. Because for someone to threaten a black man, it's kind of like threatening his life. But back in the day, the Klan would take all of us out, no matter what race and gender. We hardly hear about the Klan nowadays. But I'm tired of thinking about them. I want to move past that. I want to move past the black on black crimes, the Bloods versus the Crips. I want to be a leader. I want to be like Chuck D. I want to be like Brother J. I want to be like Wise Intelligence. I want to be like Rakim. Cause, like Eric B. and Rakim made a song, follow the leader. So who's the leader? I gotta be the leader. I gotta lead my friends and families and my dang self to the glory land. The glory land. I want to lead to the promised land. I want to lead to heaven. I want to lead to a brighter life, which means caps and gowns and a diploma or a degree. I want to lead to a ribbon with a medal on it. I want to lead to the good times. I want to lead myself to the altar where I have a woman to forever love in her white dress while I'm in my tux or just plain old church suit and tie. I want to lead myself to hear the Lord above say, well done, thy good and faithful servant. But when will I ever get it on? Now. Not tomorrow. You didn't do it yesterday. Just do it right now. Be a leader, a smart one. Even if you have to put tough love, you're going to have to tell them that I still love you for what you're doing, but I want you to do better. Expand yourself. Express yourself and do it well, because nobody's doing it for you. So with all that being said, if you want to be a leader, be a bright one, not a selfish one. With all that being said, thank you for the opportunity for listening to what I got to say, even if I felt like I sound like a preacher and or put my 2 cents in and rant, because right now it's hard to explain what's going on in the American society today, because we got to deal with a lot of leaders do good and bad. I'm tired of bad leaders. I'm tired of them. Even the government, like the president, can be a bad leader. But it's going to take a whole lot of time for some people to change their minds and realize that it's not about you. It's about us. Even the immigrants who decide to live their life in America. Because I tell you right now, I remember what it was like to sing the national anthem to all the immigrants who became American citizens. I miss those days. I want to be free, land of the free, home of the brave, but we still got a lot to work on. For real. So with all that being said, be a leader, a bright, strong leader. Don't be scared. Don't be scared to put everything in its platform. With all that being said, man, just thank you. Thank you very, very much for this platform. Thank you so much for all that you've had to go through. Because I'm telling you now, because nobody else is going to do it for you. But I do know this. You need to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the notification bell and there will be more in stores. And, of course, the link for School of Hard Knocks Part 3, the last episode before this one, will be in the description bar down below. Description box. Some say description bar, others say description box, but it's still going to be down below. And this episode has been brought to you by none other than Sweet Lady of the Week. And I already called out her name once. And I'm going to have to say it again just to get on the right state of mind. So who's the sweet lady? None other than Mrs. Abigail Chitterboga Fincher, a.k.a. Abby. And Abby, I ain't forgot about you. Just letting you know that you're a really good leader. I mean it. Even when the skies are gray, even when you're in a bad mood, you have to be a good leader than a bad one. Because to be a leader, Abby, you have to mean everything that you say. You got to show love and compassion for your job. And that's exactly why I decided to dedicate it to you. People like you deserve credit for being a good leader. And that's why I came up with the title, leadership. And that's all there is. That's what we all need. We all need good leaders. And until then, this is yours truly, Taylor Jones, signing out. Stay tuned for more Cold Man's Winter Season 6. And remember, if you want to be a leader, be a good one.